Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another podcast. This is Dejah Brew podcast, and I'm your host, Dejah Olson. Thank you for coming back again this week. It's so nice to have you here. So today, I want to talk about relationships in high school and college. And I know, like the beginning of all episodes I posted already, I say that I'm super passionate about the subject I'm going to talk about, and I don't know, I think I am passionate about this one, but I really just want to share my experiences with this topic with you guys, because I don't know, maybe you're thinking about this cute guy or girl and you just, I don't know, want a little advice, like, should I really go for this? Should I wait a little bit? Should I turn this into something, or should we just talk for longer? Okay, so let's just get right into it. Okay, we'll start back in high school. So I was about 17 and I had one semester left of high school, and I hadn't had a boyfriend since like middle school. you know those cute little middle school ones where you can't even drive yet, so like you walk or bike to each other's houses or the movies to hang out and whatever. And they're not really serious, but like at the time you think they're serious, but they're fun. So I hadn't had a relationship since middle school, and I didn't plan on having another one, honestly, until after high school. And I was gonna graduate a year early from high school, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna make it. Like, I'll almost, not have a boyfriend throughout high school. And I remember my stepdad, he even made me a deal, because that's just what he likes to do. And he told me beginning of high school, and he said, if you don't have a boyfriend all throughout high school, I'll buy you a golden retriever. Like, okay, challenge accepted. And I was doing great. I didn't date anyone almost throughout my whole high school career. Like, still talk to people, just if I wasn't feeling anymore, I would just be like, okay, I'm not feeling this anymore. It's not like, you don't have to like break up with them because you're not really dating. So fast forward, I was 2.5 years done with high school, and I only had a semester left. That was it, almost there. And then a man reappeared in my life. Yep, that's how it always goes. No, I know. Some, you can meet strangers. But for me, it was a guy that we kind of liked each other back in middle school, but like never went anywhere. I just didn't. And then, here he shows up again, and you got the history, and it's all cute, and like you're trying it out again because we're a little bit older, even though literally, actually I think I was 16, yeah. And I don't know, we just instantly connected again and clicked, and we hung out like 4 times and then started dating. And I was like, wow, plan out the window. I guess I have a boyfriend now. Cool. And then I remember the golden retriever thing, and I wasn't even that pressed about it because my stepdad made me that deal when I did not have a job when I was like 14. And fast forward 16, I was working a car wash, working like 24 hours a week or something like that. So I was getting that money, I was saving that money. I could buy myself a golden retriever. So I didn't think too much of that. But oh my gosh, where do I even begin? Relationships, they're great, right? They're so wholesome, they're so cute. You always have that person to talk to. You always have that person to just confide in, and you still have friends, of course. You should still have friends, but they kind of like become your closest friend too, because I don't know, I feel like for the most part they're like end up being the person that you hang out around the most, and you know, you're in love, and that's just what you want to do. So I don't know, I feel like my situation was a little different, but it's why I want to share this with you, because we were together for a year and 4 months, and we are no longer together. But this time we were together my last semester of high school, and we were in the same grade, but he was not graduating early. So he was still in high school for another year, but I graduated with the class ahead of me, and then I went right to college in the fall. So I was in this relationship, yeah, my last semester of high school, and then my whole first year of college. And I don't know, looking back on it, well, one is like, why rush it, right? Are you really gonna end up together forever? Like, maybe if it's a good relationship, you might, you know, be together multiple years, like 5 years or something, but not too many people are high school sweethearts, at least that I know of. Maybe you know some people, but I just don't really know any. And just like making that person your whole world when you're so young is just, oh, I don't even know. It's just kind of goofy. You know, you're so young. There's so many experiences out there, you know, so much you could be meeting more people, really trying to find the best person for you, and you know, they might come along and be better than this one that you're with now. I don't know, just there's so many fish in the sea. You know, that's such a cliche phrase, but it is really true. And I remember when I broke up with my ex, I went out on a sushi date because I love sushi, and it's something that him and I did, and I was like, I'm not gonna stop having sushi dates. I'll still go on them, you know. I don't need him to go to have a sushi date. And I had this beautiful college girly. She was my friend in a class, and we both loved blue sushi. And she was like, do you want to go? And I was like, of course I want to go. And I was fresh out of the breakup, and I remember, this was already like a year ago, but she told me, and she's like, I think she was like 27. No, 25. Something like that, like a little bit older, because I was 18 at the time. Yeah, I don't know, but we were in the same class in college, and she was really chill, so we just went and hung out. And I remember she told me that being in a relationship when you're young is honestly one of the worst things to do, because like it doesn't mean you don't have to be with anyone, but you could just talk for longer, or you know, not make it super serious right away. And she just told me that she just enjoyed being young, and she was able to talk to whoever she wanted to. And then she finally met a really good guy, and they moved in together, and they travel all the time together, which was so wholesome. But just, I don't know, just hearing this advice from someone older than me, it just, I don't know, it really made me happy. I mean, I remember when I got out of the relationship, I had a few people being, well, I had someone being like, oh, well, it's okay. You'll make up and get back together. I'm like, no, why? We wouldn't break up if we just wanted to get right back together. Like, that's a toxic relationship. I don't know. So, anyway, backtrack. It was my, last semester of high school, and, you know, it was going good. It was going great. You know, hadn't ever really been this in love. I was falling deep. I was like taking a deep dive off of a cliff. Yeah. into love. I don't know if that makes sense. If it makes sense, good. If not, oh well. And I don't know, it sucks because once you fall in love, you start to not see the bad things, or you see them but you don't consider them red flags or something you should worry about, because, you know, all the good times you're having, all the good moments, they make up for it. Like, there's more good moments, so don't those, like, you know, those outweigh the bad, like make them non-existent? No. But that's how you feel when you're in it, and truly you don't really realize it until you're ready to leave, and, you know, after you left or you guys have broken up. So, you know, it was good, the relationship. Like, I can't, you know, I'm not bashing it at all, but just the fact that, I don't know, I was so young and just giving so much of my time and energy, because after we were, I think it was right, no, I don't know. Well, I was about to start college, and I was working, and I was working a lot of hours, and, well, I was trying to finish up high school, and applying for college is kind of tricky, you know? I mean, if it's your first time, you don't really know how to do it. If your parents went, if they didn't go to the same one as you, and, you know, they probably went like a lot of years before, so, you know, processes have changed. So I was trying to figure out all this, how I'm gonna make this all work, apply for all the scholarships, accept scholarships, put them into my college database thing. I don't even know what it's called, but I had so much on my plate that I was trying to do, and a relationship takes up so much just time and energy, because you have to give your time and hang out with that person to help your relationship grow, and you have to give even more of your energy to, you know, being there for that person and helping them through things, and yeah, just things like that. One of the main things was, before I got into this relationship, you know, I'm a person where, you know, I got my phone, we all got our phones, and some days I just want to set my phone down, you know, in my bedroom, on a kitchen counter, wherever, and then I want to just go outside, go on an adventure, sit outside and read a book for 4 hours, go outside, I don't know, take a nice walk, swim in the lake, and just not go on my phone. Because, I don't know, you don't need to respond to anyone like right away. So I would just, that's what I would always do. I would just leave my phone and I would just go off, do my own thing. Because sometimes it sucks to just carry it around all the time and constantly feel that buzzing, and then, you know, thinking that you need to respond to people right away. And that's just kind of silly. So once I got into this relationship, it goes into that time thing. It just takes up so much time, because I remember he didn't complain about it at first, but he would like subtly be like, oh yeah, you know, you leave me on delivered for like 4 hours. I'm like, yeah, yep, I'm just enjoying my time, not going on my phone. And then it turns into like, okay, well, you know, they want to text you back. They know you want them to text you back. You know, they want you to text this. Yeah, pretty quick. So then, you know, you start the habit of doing that, and then pretty soon you're just texting all the time. And in my case, since I was the one that always wanted to leave my phone, and they were just a person that's always on their phone, I had to like keep responding all the time, and it just gets annoying because you don't always know what to say. And I had a, I think I deleted Snapchat eventually, so then we would just be texting. And you know, sometimes you run out of things to say. It happens, it's okay. But if I would just leave that on like delivered, if I knew it had sent but I just didn't know what to respond yet, and if it had been like over an hour or something, then I would like get a second text that's like, why aren't you answering your phone, blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I just want to be off my phone. And yeah, maybe that's just because I just don't always like to be on it, you know. Some days are different. Some days I got my like 2.5 hours of screen time, but other days it's like 40. It all varies with me, but for the most part, I don't like to be on it all the time, and that's just been such a relief not being in a relationship. And also, I don't know, there's so many things, you know. You have a whole life to live. If you're like 16, 17, around that age, and you're looking for someone to be with because you don't want to be alone, or you want that companionship, it's like, you know, say we live till 90, you got another like 70 years to find that person. You know, you might as well just experiment, have fun, and just live while you're young without being tied down. And I don't know, maybe it was just my experience, but I felt tied down, and it really sucks, but maybe it's just a young relationship thing. I'm not sure. But it's just so nice to have your own freedom. And I remember just thinking back on high school, and like when I started high school, like freshman year, I was just elated. Like I was just having so much fun. That was when I was starting to like grow my self-confidence, you know, had I don't know, a lot of different guys would try to talk to me, but you know, I knew my worth, and I was like, no, not you. I'm not gonna give you the time of day. Or some I would, you know, let it go a little bit, see how it went. But I didn't, you know, start a relationship with anyone. I would just talk to people sometimes, but for the most part, at the beginning of high school, I just hung out with my friends all the time, and it was such a blast. Because I would hang out with one, or hang out with the other, or I'd hang out in a group of 3 or a group of 4, and we'd have sleepovers, and it would just be so fun, and just so cute. Like, I don't know, like my snap memories of being with them, just, I don't know, just singing to, what is that song? I was gonna say Gosha, Mo Bamba, like singing to Mo Bamba in the car for no reason, just for fun. I don't know, like that stuff was just so fun. And you know, hanging out with a partner is really nice too, you know. You get that, like, you get the touch part of it, you know, you get that, the physical touch. Okay, not all the time, but you know what I mean. Like, it's different than hanging out with friends, but I think it's just so much more fun. I don't know, because like with the partner, say it's winter, and you know, that's kind of just like cuddling and watching a movie time, and you know, that's great and all, maybe a couple times a week. But what's so much more fun is just hanging out with your friends, driving around town, I don't know, screaming out music, doing some shenanigans in Walmart, or just literally whatever, playing Just Dance in the basement. I don't know, like my friends were just always up for such fun stuff, and my significant other just was not. But I was just so like deeply in love that, you know, I wanted to spend the most time with them, when I would have been having so much more fun if I just hung out with my friends. And that is so important. And like, if you're gonna get into a relationship, especially young, you need to keep your friends close. And I believe in quality over quantity any day. I think I have, right now I have 2 to 3 really good friends, and I love them. They're so amazing. But that's kind of it. I have a ton of acquaintances. I have a ton of like not close friends, but like those 3 are like my ride or die. Like they're so awesome. And I don't know, that's when I got in a relationship, then I kind of realized, I don't know, like you stop talking to like the guys that, you used to just kind of like be friends with. Maybe they liked you, maybe they didn't, but you kind of stop talking to them because, to make your boyfriend feel insecure. And then, the friends kind of just dwindle down. But as long as you keep those ride or dies, that is so important. Keeping in contact with them, hanging out every once in a while or as frequently as you can. Just keep that in mind, because when you leave your partner, when you guys break up, maybe they break up with you, where are you going to turn to if you dropped all your friends? Literally where? Like, maybe your parents. What if you moved out? What if you live in a dorm? Well, then you have roommates. But you know what I mean? Like, it's so important to have those friends to turn back to, and just know that, they'll help you grieve. Maybe you guys will eat ice cream together and just talk about it, and then you're just gonna have so much fun. And I remember after I broke up with my ex, I literally had the best summer of my life, because we broke up in like May, and then my best friend and I, we were like, let's do so many fun things, like everything we just want to, like, let's do it. And I had so much fun. Oh my goodness. Like, it was things that, I don't know, like my partner, like things that he wouldn't want to do, or it was too pricey for them and like for us to go together. But my best friend was a different story. So like we went skydiving, we went to a Pitbull and Iggy Azalea concert, we went to a Suicide Boys concert, we went on a road trip, a 5-day road trip to Minnesota, and jumped off cliffs and went to Mall of America and just enjoyed life. And had like it was a 6-hour road trip. So we had a 6-hour road trip there and back, and we like the same music, so we're just vibing to all this great music in the car. Went to like the ice cream capital of the US or something. And it was just so fun. And there's so much more that summer too, but it was when I just like disconnected myself from men. I don't know, like I talked to a couple, and if I saw that somewhere cute, I would be like, ooh, like thinking about it, but nothing even happened. But just the fact that, I don't know, I like separated myself from that and just focused on like hanging out with friends, and it was so fun. And I don't know, friends are forever, a partner isn't always forever, and your friends and family are. So just keep that in mind, and you don't have to be in a relationship to get like the good parts out of a partner. You could just be talking. I've met tons of people that they do all the fun like partner stuff, but they haven't considered themselves like a couple and dating. Like they have their free time, their alone time, without putting like the label on it. And if that works for them, that is so great. See, you don't need to truly be in a relationship and then eventually feel held down maybe. And yeah, so that was the main gist of it. Just don't forget about your friends, and don't put all this time and effort on men, because they're not always that great. I'm sorry guys out there if you're watching this, but some are. I'm not dissing everyone, but some just don't, always have the best qualities. And maybe that person that you thought you were gonna be with for a long time you know, maybe they might start to have these not so good qualities, and then you realize, you know, they weren't the one. And that is okay. You have an entire life to live. Remember that. So much time to live, and just live it up. Go on the adventures you want to. Go travel the world. That is what I'm doing now. You know, catch flights, not feelings. I just really like that one for some reason. I don't know, like, now that I don't have a relationship anymore, you know, I booked a month-long trip to Europe with a friend, and I'm so excited. Like, that's so amazing. And the fact that I don't have to, you know, keep on my phone to text my significant other back all the time is just gonna make it so much more enjoyable, because just living in the moment, you know, I'll get to live in the moment, and that's so important to me. And, you know, sometimes they get in the way of your goals too, because, you know, before you meet the person, you could have goals for the future, like what you want to do or where you want to move, and then they come into the picture, and, you know, you're not always gonna be in the same age or go to the same college, graduate the same year, or want to move to the same place, and then you have to like work your life around them. And I don't know if they're your soulmate, if you really feel like they are the one, then that's perfectly okay. I'm not telling you you shouldn't be with anyone, but it's just something to keep in mind, because you just gotta live when you're young and adventure and do everything you want to, because I don't know, after, are you really gonna want to do all this same stuff after you're retired? Probably not. Are you really gonna be up for 14-hour plane rides across the country to Europe or Asia or Africa, any of these cool places, or a 3-day road trip from, you know, Alaska to Mexico? I've been thinking about that one too. But, you know, are you really gonna be up for that when you're retired? And like, yeah, you'll have the money, hypothetically, because you've probably worked for the last 40 years, but are you gonna want to spend it on the things, like the things and adventures that you wanted to do when you were younger? Probably not. So I would recommend just save up. Yeah, I mentioned this in my other episode. You know, just save up as much as you can. You can still spend. I'm out here talking about saving, but I bought like $70 worth of stuff for my cat today. You know, it happens to the best of us, but just saving your money is so important, because then you can do all these adventures and experiences, and yeah, because it is your life to live. Don't you ever forget that, because you are all amazing, wonderful, beautiful people, and we're gonna live our best lives, because this is the only life we know of. So we've just got to live it up. And I hope the absolute best for all of you. You know, if you want to get in a relationship, you go, girl or guy, if you want to. But I just recommend just waiting it out, because it just seems like it would be so much better to, you know, be settled, start your career, whether it's with a company or your own business, and you feel content with where you're at in life, and you learn to love yourself first. That is extremely important, because how are you gonna love someone else if you don't even love yourself? So you gotta work on that journey first anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If it was kind of all over the place, I'm sorry about that. It was kind of like I don't know, self-help / story time. But thank you so much for listening. If you are still here, I really appreciate you. You're very awesome. And I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your week. And I will see you next week. Have a good day.